Hey, everybody around this mother is working hard. What we gonna do that's different, that separates us from the rest of the league? We got the most talent. What we gonna do? Let's get it. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family.
That's right, family. It's football season, everybody. We're back. We're back. One more week. No, just a few more days. And the Buccaneers are playing football. I love it. I love this shit. I know you guys are hyped. Man, get back and let's get ready. Thank you for joining for Bucs Report, the aftermath. Your host, AJ, turn up in the house. Hey, again, check me out on TikTok. My YouTube channel, it's about Bucking Time. That shit is about to get started, kicked up real hype. I'm about to piss off so many people. I've done so much shit talking this summer. It's either going to help me or bite me in the ass. But either way, it's going to be fun. That's the most important thing about this. We are here to educate and entertain. You can have fun and learn at the same time. And besides, you're going to put some respect on this damn Bucs team. But what's up? We got our other host, our main man right here, Coach Slick, a.k.a. the British guy who was always fly. Come on in. What's going on, baby boy? What's up?
Oh, I'm enjoying off season for me. My off season, I got that chip. I got the chip. Now I'm just, I'm basking. We're getting ready for next season. Already looking to see what we can do and sharpen up ready. But, whew. Now we've got a bug season. We've got bug season to go.
Right. So it's no yelling stopping for you. You just gotta keep shit going. I can dig it.
Yes, sir.
And that's the beautiful thing. And again, shout out to Coach Slick for winning it. I'm not surprised. Everybody, if you've been watching Bucs Report the Aftermath, you shouldn't be surprised. It's a good coach right here, guys. Again, check out the video. Give Coach Slick an opportunity. If the Tampa Bay organization is holding another one of those interns, this is the guy right here. He knows his shit better than a lot of people. So
brother.
Get him in a shot. Thank you. No problem, man. So we got a very jam-packed topics today. We're going to be discussing the 53-man roster, who didn't make it, who we thought would make it. We're going to talk about that Micah Parsons shit trade. We already have to get to that. And then, of course, we're going to delve in a little bit on the Falcons-Bucs matchup, because that is going to be a very important thing. So let's just get kick-started on the 53-man roster. Slick, are you happy and content with what we have? Is there anybody that you wanted on the roster, or somebody that should have gotten the boot?
I mean, I would like Nick Jackson to be on the linebacker position, but other than that, there's nothing really that kind of jumps at me. I'm just having a quick snoop of it now, and I think that's the only real name that kind of jumps at me and goes, oh, that guy would have been nice. But he's on the practice squad. He can get called up anytime, so it's not like we've lost a guy. So it's not the end of the world. They obviously like John Bullock and Sebastian Dennis and Deion Jones. We're not going to even mention the main guy's name because there's no point, because you know his job is a shoo-in. But you know, that's what that was where they wanted to go. And we've also got to remember, and I always try to say this to Buccaneers, when we're surprised about what happens in the 53-man roster cuts and what have you, we look at a very small sample that we get to see. We don't know the plays that are called. We don't know what the assignments are. We're just going off our basic football knowledge. Some people have more than others. And yeah, he looked like he played better than anyone. But for all we know, in those two days and those versus camps with the other teams, some of these other players may have been way more consistent. So you never go off what happened in preseason. Listen to the beat writers about what they're saying, because they have their finger on the pulse that little bit more. I would say it's always worth it listening to your Greg Olmans, your Jenna Lanes, your Rick Strouds of the world, because they're at camp, they're there watching it, they're there seeing who's making plays. And it's surprising when a guy who's hitting a stride in preseason, and everyone's like, oh, why did he get cut? It might have been because special teams is such a big thing. And we'll talk about some of these cuts, such as your Desmond Watsons, who's a big name that everyone's banding around as a big cut. and the same with Shiloh Sanders. But the fact of the matter is they have a big sample size, and it also depends on what you can do. If you're only a one-trick pony and you're near the bottom of the roster, you're probably going to get cut. Whereas if you're a multiple trick pony and you can play special teams, or you're playing special teams at a high level, you may make the 53-man roster just because you're the dude on special teams. Because remember, guys, on the special teams, it is all mostly reserves that play on that squad. So
that's right. I think that's a great example. I think with Nicholas Jackson, I thought he was going to be on, but the simple fact that the Bucs still retained his services on the practice squad, that shows you that he is still a part of this team. He is just our just-in-case guy. And Bullock, I like his I just like the fact that he has this mentality that he plays through the play no matter what. That guy is, I think he was picked for will. We do need guys who have the will to do something. And Savassier has had a complete healthy preseason. That's a sign. To me, that's a good sign of what's to come. I think, when it comes to that, Kalijah and Savassier are giving me the Gerald McCoy experience all over again. Now, Bucks, do we remember the first few years Gerald never stayed healthy? He showed the flashes. I say by the third year, though, he was healthy, and the rest is history. Gerald McCoy had a very good statistical career in Tampa. So I think that is what I expect out of Savassier and Kalijah Cansey this year. So like I told you, Kalijah is going to get 14 plus sacks. I think Savassier is going to be very key and vital to this pass defense when it comes to the linebackers. He has the speed where he can move east and west, north and south. If we can get the Savassier of the Detroit of week 2 last year, and he can stay like that 12 games, Slick. 12 games. I guarantee you out of those 12 games, we might only lose 1 to 2 because we know Levante is going to be Levante. We know Hassan. The simple fact, Slick, I have so much confidence in Hassan is because he's better. He's already a major step better than JTS ever was, in my opinion. Now, we'll see what he's like in Cleveland, but JTS, to me, we saw it. He couldn't get it done. So I think, and Hassan can get it done. Yaya is going to be another one that we just need him to be an 8 and 9 sack guy. Vita is going to be Vita. I like the reserves. Also, like you said, Gaines is good for us. I think Broswell. Yeah, Broswell, that's my guy right there, y'all. I'm not giving up on him. He showed flashes. That Steelers
pass rusher, dude. We said this all. What they were talking about other teams. Oh, they brought this pass rusher and they drafted this pass rusher. I'm like, that pass rusher ain't gonna do nothing in his first year. They usually never do.
That's right.
You've got to be like a top 5 pick, and even then, you're probably hitting the ceiling of a 10 sack season. So that's very good, but at the same time, it's not like, oh my God, watch out for this fucking guy. It's still he's a very good pass rusher at that point. And that guy will develop in more and more. So I'm not too worried. There are plenty of guys in their careers who don't start off great and then it just takes them that little bit longer to acclimatize to the NFL. And this is when we turn around and say, when they used to say, like, I remember when the Cleveland Browns couldn't win a game, they were saying, if you put Cleveland Browns up against Alabama, Nick Saban's Alabama, they get their asses whooped. And it's like, nah, a lot of people are like, you say that, but an NFL team is still way ahead of a college team.
Yeah, they're just at, when it comes to comparing them to the NFL level, they're not good. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, the NFL is still the best of the best. Don't get too carried away. Because if you think the reserves on the NFL is bad, then what do you think college players are? Imagine a freshman or a sophomore out there who don't know what he's doing. So let's not get too carried away, guys. The NFL is the NFL. That is the man amongst men type of league. And the college, you are a man amongst boys. So let's just leave it at that. But I want to get to what we were talking about, some of the people that are off the list that were popular names. Of course, Shiloh is one of the big ones. I know a lot of people think it's controversial. I don't think it is, in my opinion. I like Shiloh, and I hope that he can develop. But let's be real, guys. It wasn't, fight. It wasn't just that. Shiloh just didn't do enough yet. That's not to say that he can't. But remember, Buck fans, each person on this team, on this roster counts, because we're going for a Super Bowl. We don't have time for pet projects. We're not rebuilding. we don't have so much talent loaded to where we can take that much time. So I think Shiloh Slick will get better, but he's at this point right now, he doesn't do any good for us with the other guys that are on the roster above him.
I mean, I would have liked to have kept him, but if you look at the practice squad, there isn't really any safeties on it, so that could have been part of the reason why. And I think a lot of people look at the punch because it's the punch that was thrown. It's kind of like the exclamation point. It's like you don't know that was the reason he was cut. It probably didn't help, but people assume because he was cut. I wouldn't say immediately after, but he was cut whenever a lot of the other guys were cut. He's probably in the first wave of cuts, but that's not to say that was the only reason he got cut. It probably didn't help, but no one has any clue that was the reason he was cut. So my thing for Shiloh,
right?
He's kind of come out quite recently, and he doesn't seem that bothered that he's been cut. And I'm great that he has that kind of upbeat on life, but maybe football was not his forte, and that's not what his passion is, and maybe something else is, because I'd imagine most people would feel rock bottom. I know I would. I'd feel rock bottom. I wouldn't be posting on Instagram saying, it's okay. Like, I respect the grind and the guy's optimism, and hopefully that's all it is. I hope it's optimism rather than he doesn't really care, because if that's his attitude, then he's probably done playing pro sports. But hey, I wish him all the best. He was fun to have here in Tampa when we did have him. I know I personally enjoyed watching it, and I rooted for him as well. So, I don't think the punch was the reason. I think it was a combination of the fact that he was a bit of a one-trick pony. He didn't seem to jump out on special teams, and he's a Bucs safety. So now you've kind of doesn't play special teams, has a very specialist role on the defense. How much more ahead is he than the other safeties as a Bucs safety? Because if you turn around to me and said, I'll give you as my backup safety, average in the box and average in coverage, but then I can give you a guy who's slightly above average in the box, but poorer in coverage. I'll take the rounded out guy every day of the week who can play special teams. Yeah,
because again, he serves a multi-purpose, and he's someone that we can utilize. And I think people don't realize when special teams is just as important, guys don't think it's not, because if there wasn't special teams involved, that means your starting guys. You do not want Mike Evans or Bucky Irvin or any of your starting guys to run out there to try to make tackles. You don't want that. You don't want Baker out there. So special teams matter. If you want to win a game, let's say you got to kick a 55-yard field goal to win a game, it matters. Each person on that roster matters. That's why it's the toughest decisions to make. And Shiloh, I do think I agree with you saying that him being a box safety, but we already have guys who can do better, who are more well-rounded. Izzian is better at being in the box or in certain coverages. The same for Merriweather. Then you got Antoine, Ty Key this year. I'm ready, Slick. I think he'll just be able to have to master the full safety position without having to be so stressed on playing the nickel. And he'll be in there for a little bit, I think, to be disguises, because we know how Bowles can do things. But imagine now that Tyke he had a full offseason where, you know what, let me just focus on the safety position, because Jacob Parrish has got the nickel on lock.
Exactly. You'll have Jacob Parrish, Christian Izzian, and him all being able to have that skill set of playing the nickel, because all three have started nickels for our team at some point in their career, right? So you could throw this guy down there and throw someone else down there and show him as a box, as a nickel, and then throw him back out as a. You can play with all sorts of nickel and dime packages. And I think this is what Coach Bowles ultimately wants to do, is have so many guys that can play nickel and play safety. It gives you so much, because it's a bit different at corner, right? Because at corner, the difference in like where you line up as a corner versus as a nickel is you're obviously inside, and safeties play from the 9 times out of 10. If you're going to go with a cliche coverage, you're playing from the hashes. Well, at the nickel position, you're not that far away from the hashes. Whereas if you're a an outside corner, you're quite far away, so it's harder to disguise it. It's harder to make it look like a lot of other different things. Whereas you can easily do that from the nickel and dime positions with safeties, for sure. You can play with it so many different ways.
Mhm.
You could have you could go and get yourself Christian Isian and Antoine Winfield, and then roll the safeties down, and they go up. You know what I'm saying? And you can just play with it in so many different ways that so many different coverage structures could change, and it could play complete chaos. You could have three safeties, and the two corners end up playing flats, and then the final nickel or the dime ends up playing that third spot in the cover three, that deep third.
That's right.
So you could do
he
so
drops back in coverage.
Yep, he just bails.
You could have a situation. You can have a situation like you said where he bails. Antoine Winfield is the blitzer, where he comes up in the box, and the quarterback has to decide, okay, what if they're both blitzing, or who's really bluffing? But by the time we know Antoine is a missile at finding the gap. So at this point, the quarterback is like, well, if he does come, I got to bail. I can throw it, but what if Jacob bails out? Now that's a pick six or just a flat out interception. I do like the fact that we have a lot of multiversal players on this defense, and it will come in handy because I heard the report that Isian didn't practice today, but that's okay because, again, we have certain depth that makes me feel better. I like Merriweather. I think Merriweather is a good, serviceable guy that can come in. But the most important thing is, for so far, knock on wood, our front seven is healthy. Slick is healthy, man. And that's what we need going into this season. So I'm excited about that. Now, I want to go to the next person. I don't feel sorry for this individual. If anything, I'm more frustrated. Is Desmond Watson. People were saying, oh, man, what happened? I said, that's the problem. Nothing. First things first, ladies and gentlemen, the Bucs are not going to be liable if something happens to that man. He had an opportunity, and so far, we don't know what he was doing with it. Now, I don't like to go by what I see on TV where they showed he was walking around. I just want to know what the hell he was doing, Slick, when the cameras were off. Why didn't you try to knock this weight off? You have an opportunity to make good money, to play on an NFL team, a team that is Super Bowl contenders at that, Slick. It's not like you're playing for the Saints or any other bottom tier team. Yep. You have an opportunity to make a name for yourself, and you didn't. That's what frustrated me.
We had the likes of Ocho Cinco and people like kind of, I wouldn't say calling out the Bucs, but we were kind of like basically saying they were surprised and would have liked the Buccaneers to let him play and all those kind of things. I would say that I think half the reason teams didn't touch him, this is just my opinion, I'm not saying it's fact or anything, it's just my opinion, is because you are damned if you do with him and you're damned if you don't with him. So the Buccaneers decided, we want to get you down to a weight that we think is the right weight for you to play at. Positions that you got to remember, they have top tier medical staff, they have trainers, they have physios, they have everything. They have everything under the sun, nutritionalists, everyone under the sun to help that kid get into the right diet, get into the right training regime, to get into everything that he needs. I'm not saying it's perfect because we know that some teams don't have the same level. We've seen that it reflected in the player surveys. But at the end of the day, you are getting the best possible experience in front of you to try and get you ready to play on game day. So my mindset was, okay, they didn't let him play because they didn't want him to. They wanted him to get to a certain weight before they would let him do that. That was a goal. They were like, this is the goalpost. If you want this, this is how you chase it. And he didn't. They ended up cutting him. I was surprised they let him hang around as long as they did, if I'm brutally honest. And then I think the moment let's say they do let him play, the moment he collapses on the floor, the Bucs have done him dirty. The Bucs didn't take care of him. They didn't prepare him, his big body enough to play in the Florida Heat. And I know that some people are going, well, he played at Florida. It's college, not NFL level. college and NFL level, it's not the same. It's not. I know that in the old days, some people would say that the college practices used to be tougher than the pro ones, right?
NFL
That
practices.
was a genuine thing.
Yeah.
But that was the 1980s and the 1990s. And since everything's kind of got changed through, everything has to be fluid intakes and things like that. I watched the thing about how the Buccaneers have these guys who are weighing players, weighing how much liquids they're taking in, and all their salt levels and all this stuff. Believe you me, they've got Desmond Watson's best interest at heart to make sure that he can play. But I'm telling you, the moment he goes down, everyone will be gutting the Bucs about how they mistreated him and that they let him play at a weight that he shouldn't have been playing at, and they should have got him to slim down. It's the opposite of the conversation that everyone's saying now. But we saw the videos of him walking around. People are like, I just saw him walking around. I just think the Buccaneers could have got more. Hang on. If he's just walking around, that's on him. Does he need a coach to make him move? Exactly. And we all know, AJ, you work in I wouldn't say you work in the world of fitness, but you know a bit of the world of fitness. You know that most of losing weight is pure diet.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. The amount of weight you lose versus you could be a guy who trains every single day, but if you eat like shit, you ain't losing shit.
Yep, exactly.
It's not going to happen. People seem to think, if you work really, really hard, you can do, correct me if I'm wrong, you can do a good 40-minute workout and work off a fucking chocolate bar or candy bar. That's it.
Yes, that's it. That can fuck up your week, actually. People don't realize it messes up your week.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's more about the diet than anything else as well. So you kind of got to get the diet intact.
The kitchen is the real gym, Slick. That's what people don't like to admit. The real gym is the kitchen. That's the most difficult place to work out because it's a choice. It's your mindset. It's do you want this? So again, Desmond, I don't know if it was him or his family. If I just didn't see enough, like you said, I saw him walking. Where the fuck was you running? Why weren't you jogging places?
Yeah, why aren't you jogging? Why aren't you helping out with the drills? Why aren't you? I know he can't be in them, but he could help the coach set up. He could help, be involved or get in the. And like I said, we only saw that little sample. So for all we know, he was maybe trying. I don't know. Right. I genuinely don't know. But the result of the matter is he wasn't able to shed the weight that the Buccaneers wanted him to. And guess what? He got cut and no one else wanted him. And I don't think anybody wanted the headache of having him on their team.
Right.
And it became a problem.
And for people out there, we don't want to hear no shit about, oh, well, this man, that's all he has to do. He doesn't have to get up and go to another job.
He does now.
Slick. That was his job, to get in shape. That is his livelihood at that point, ladies and gentlemen, is to get to that level. So don't tell me, oh, it's not like he had to go to work and work from 9 to 5 or 10 to 6. His job was to get in fucking shape. If he wanted that to happen, it would have. So people out there, spare us with the bullshit. We're sitting here telling you that if he wanted it, he could have had it. Now I'm just saying, from May to basically August, June, July, 2 months, you could literally say, okay, let's lose 7 pounds a week. 7 pounds a week. Come on, guys. He could have had it. So that's going to be on him. I'm not here to try to shame him.
We don't even know what the figure of weight was. They might have said he only needed to lose 20 pounds through the course of all of preseason, which was 8 weeks? Yep. That's 2.5 pounds a week.
Yeah. Yep. And you're in the Florida heat, so it should be faster. It should be easier. That means, Slick, he should have been drinking nothing but water, maybe a little bit of Gatorade. But when it comes to that food shit we just talked about, ladies and gentlemen, you got to sacrifice. Because, hey, Slick, if you get on the roster, you can make the money, and then you get on the team and do good.
They give you food at the team facility that would have been built for him. You know that, right?
That's right.
The only time he would have been able to fuck around with his diet is when he got home.
Exactly.
Or when he was staying in his hotel, or whatever they did. I don't know what happened, and I think it's a damn shame. But at the same time, people got to remember he was a fucking undrafted free agent. The Buccaneers risked nothing. It was basically like what does this? I think it was an experiment to say what does this look like? Could we get him to play like Vita Vea? And I think everyone just fell in love with the size, big body, defensive player,
hype. Again, Slick, we said this before. In football, ladies and gentlemen, there's reality. You can have all the hype in the world. It doesn't mean it's going to replicate on the field.
I think we just fall in love with some of the stuff that comes out. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, there was a linebacker called Riley Bullock, and he was on Hard Knocks, and he talked about knocking people out and ripping their heads off and shitting down their throats. Guess what? Didn't even make practice squad. They didn't even make practice squad because everyone fell in love with the rah-rah. Like, this guy's fucking, he talks about being violent. Talking it and doing it are two different things. And he may have been that guy at Michigan State or wherever he was from. But to replicate that attitude in the NFL is not the same. You've got to live up, you've got to live to that expectation.
Right. And again, it's not like he didn't have the money to buy shit. Like, again, you have all, like you said, the nutrition is there, the people. So money should not be a problem. You get paid $18.50 a weekly for your average preseason players. So Slick. So let's say for 4 weeks, you see what I'm saying? $18.50 a week. He had the money. Go. I don't care. Go to GNC. Go to whatever facility you need to go to, Slick, and buy whatever you need to lose that weight. Do whatever. Buy the right food. Take your ass to Whole Food or Publix. Go to the places where you can, like you said, it's just what did you do at home, sir? And again, guys, we're not here to shame this individual. However, I will a reality check, y'all. Y'all want to know what the average, again, Slick, this is a business. You want to handle your business. The minimum salary is for rookies is $435,000. Now, for people out there, after taxes and all that, that's still probably going to be around like 160. You know what we could do? You know what everyday people like me and Slick could do with $160,000 for a salary? That's life changing. So I want you people out there to realize that. I want you guys to realize that. So people out there, Desmond, I really hope that I hope Desmond understands and learns from this, because even Bo said he hasn't given up on him. So I hope this lights a fire into his ass, Slick. He might, if he does it right, maybe we can use him later on down the line during the regular season, where we got a few.
I think he's going to be. I think he'll be invited to camp next year.
Next year, you think he'll be invited? To camp
he's the next year. I think he'll have a futures contract.
Okay,
in the off season.
Well, I hope. Look, if I'm that guy, Slick, and I'm him, I would say you need to drop 60 pounds, another 60 pounds. He needs to get to where he can be at least no more than 330 or 340 pounds.
I don't mind playing heavier and play. He just got to be sub 400. Yeah, that's already massive, right? I want to see a noticeable difference in the sense of it's got to look like whatever that goal was that they said you got to get down by. He should be on that minimum. That's the bare minimum. They said, right. You need to be at 420. Then the next time you speak to the Buccaneers, you're at 420, ready to roll.
Shit, yeah. And I would say if you really want to impress them, be at 400, be at 390, where they go, oh, shit. Oh, well, okay. Well, we see that you have the motivation. We see that you have the dedication. Get your ass up on here. Because again, you still have an opportunity. The good thing about it is, like, he still has a name out there that somebody might say, you know what, let's give this guy a shot. For some people, Slick, this was their last shot. They'll never be heard from again. So, Desmond, I'm still rooting for you. Shiloh, I'm still rooting for you. But right now, Slick, we got to root for who's on our roster. And on the offensive side, Slick, we're going to have the number one offense. We're going to have the number one offense. This fucking offense is ridiculous. Are you excited that my man Wirfs and Godwin, they passed the physical thing. So it's looking really good for them. I honestly think Wirfs will be back by the opening when we play the Jets.
Yeah.
But I
much?
want them to monitor him. Now, Slick, if he is not 90%, I'm not playing him. He is outside of Baker, he's the most important piece on this team. I'd be like, Tristan, if you can't give me 90%, I'm not having you on the field. I don't want you on the field. The same for Godwin. We have a Mecca for a reason. I think a Mecca will be 1,000-yard receiver. 1,000 yards. I see him and Evans both being 1,000-yard receivers. I see when it comes to this running back, we got 4 running backs, Slick. That's nice.
Yep.
We got
Bucky Irving, Sean Tucker, Rashad White, and Josh Williams. So I'm liking what I saw in Josh Williams in the preseason. And what he does in the preseason doesn't necessarily turn into anything in the season, but it shows an intent, and it shows that we're building a running back stable with it. That'd be good. It'd be really good.
Yes. It's really good.
And I think if we ever got in trouble, I think old Teddy Bridgewater could win us a few games here and there if we got into that trouble.
I agree. I mean, he's sort of similar to Baker. He's like, they both are mobile. They both can make things happen out of the pocket. With the kind of offense that we have, we want that. We don't need a statue. We need.
Yeah, I think they wanted. I think the Buccaneers wanted to see true competition for the number 2 spot, and I think the fact that they made their mind up so quickly was telling of they were just hold. I think it's possible that the Buccaneers were holding on to him for the sheer fact that draft, when you look back at it, was an awful draft, and he's the last
2021 draft. Yeah, it was bad.
Mm-hmm. It was ass, man. It was real bad.
It was.
But
it was one of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But we move on, then, and you've got to. And I think Teddy Bridgewater, it's kind of funny how he was a guy that was kind of touted to come here before we got Brady. That was kind of funny in that sense. But, this is a guy who can do the job. He's played on NFL teams. He's started for NFL teams. Yeah, he's a journeyman quarterback. He's the kind of guy who'll probably win you games, but you can't rely on him to win you a season.
No, not at all. But we don't need it. And that's why I think this year I'm just impressed with, again, the receiving depth. Sterling Shepard. We have Mecca. I like Ryan Miller.
Miller. Yeah.
Yes, Tez Johnson. I think yes. I like Ryan Miller, Slick, as a possession guy. I think we can count on him. We don't need him to be the yak guy. We need him on certain situations where, he kind of reminds me of Evans, where he'll catch the ball and he can go down, because he used to be a tight end. He went from tight end to wide receiver. So he's a big body guy, possession type of guy. We have a different variety of receivers. Yeah. I like that. I like the fact that we have variety of receivers, because I think I can see Tez being that guy who'll turn 3rd and 1, Slick, to he'll run, he'll make it an extra 17 yards just because.
Yeah, I like what I see. Really athletic guy, really twitchy, really fast, great change of direction, very, very fucking athletic. Probably one of the most athletic wide receivers that we have on the team, to be fair. Yep, small guy, so you can get lost in the sauce a little bit.
Yes.
I think he could be a bit of a nightmare. Kind of gives me. I don't want to turn around and say that he is Steve Smith Sr., but he kind of gives me Steve Smith Sr. vibes in how he played, in his style, that quickness, twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really pleased with our wide receiver room. Really pleased with it.
We have the best wide receiving depth in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. We said depth, not I don't care. Oh, well, they're not AJ and Devontae. Bullshit. That's a whole nother topic that y'all are not ready to have. But let's get off of this and let's just talk about why we're thankful that Jason Light has a good culture in our building. Because Slick, I mean, one of the craziest things, to me, it's not the biggest thing, it's just crazy, was this Micah Parsons trade. The Green Bay Packers gave up 2 first-round picks, Kenny Clark, for Micah Parsons, and everyone is saying, man, the Packers are contenders. I say bullshit, Slick. I say
It's made them better.
bullshit.
I do generally think it's made them better. But what's the cost? So we always look at the interesting thing is when they look at a revisited trade. I always find that fascinating. When they go, this was what happened when they gave up. They'll talk about a player, such as when the Raiders gave up Mac. They got nothing out of it.
Yeah, Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And football is littered with trades like that where people think, and sometimes it works out. But usually you find when you pay up big numbers, it doesn't always come out to be the best thing. In my experience, seeing guys of like, you look at when Cleveland made the big trade to get hold of Watson,
Didn't pan out.
Well, what the fuck are we doing here? They're nowhere near the team. They're nowhere near the team the Texans are right now. And the Texans have got a great culture. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon. They're definitely knocking on that door of winning the AFC South, and they've got themselves what looks to be a franchise quarterback, and they're building around him. Whereas you can't say any of that in Cleveland right now. I think the only thing in Cleveland is they have a defense that keeps them in games, and a decent enough running game, and an okay enough offense to make them, average offense.
That's right. And again, this is why it's important that you know when you're doing something, whether you're close or not, because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, the Green Bay Packers are not a complete team. We don't know what Matthew Golden is going to be like. They already know that the other wide receivers
that's
can't get
going to be the
interesting
one because he was one of the like him, Mecca, and Travis Hunter. That's going to be like who's the dude? Who was the guy
among those guys? I'm going to be honest. I watched Matthew's preseason games. Was not impressed. If you watch his preseason and compare it to Emeka, Slick, as a coach, you would respect this. Emeka did more with what he had than Matthew, because someone said, well, Emeka had all of these opportunities. No, he didn't. They played that man for like 1 to 2 series each game, and then they got him out. But he made it happen.
You think?
Exactly.
I think they wanted to wrap him up a little bit. You could see there was a lot of caution to the wind when it came to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their starters. Did Baker ever play a snap in the preseason?
No, I don't. He did not. There was no need for him to anyway.
And that's it. I mean,
and then, after that McMillan thing, why would you do it? That's why. But that's our point, Slick, that I was trying to get Packer fans to understand. You don't have – people forget, Slick, that Green Bay's defense last year was not bad. Yes, are they missing a pass rush? Indeed. However, now you gave up Kenny Clark, your run-stopping guy. And as much as people want to gloss and glaze over Micah Parsons, you forget one thing. He can't stop the run. He's not even average at stopping the run. If he was average, Slick, that would be a big thing. But he's not. Also, Slick, you talked about one-trick ponies. If you're going to be a one-trick pony, you damn sure better be the best of it. Slick, I want to ask you something, sir. Has Micah Parsons ever led the league in sacks?
No.
Has he ever been top 3 in sacks?
I think maybe once. Maybe once.
He hasn't. He hasn't, brother. You ready for this?
I think he's been perennial top 4 was his ceiling, right?
Not top 5.
Top 5
was his ceiling. Top 5. Now, here you go, Slick. Because like the Mike Evans thing, Slick, we're about to fuck them up with stats, baby. Because stats hurt. It looked 2021. JJ Watt. This is when Micah Parsons came into the NFL.
You're doing the same thing as I do with Mike Evans. I love it.
JJ Watt led the league with 22.5 sacks. Robert Quinn, 18.5. Myles Garrett, 16. Nick Bosa, 15.5. Trey Hendrickson, 14. Micah Parsons, 13. 2022, Nick Bosa led the league with 18.5. Hassan Reddick, 16. Welcome. Myles Garrett, 16. Chris Jones, 15.5. Matthew Judon, 15.5. Alex Highsmith, 14.5. Micah Parsons, 13.5. JJ Watt, 12.5. 2023, TJ Watt leads the league in 19 sacks. Trey Hendrickson, 17.5. Josh Allen from the Jaguars, 17.5. Khalil Mack, 17. Danielle Hunter, 16.5. Max Crosby, 14.5. Myles Garrett and Parsons both tied at 14. Now let's go to 2024. Trey Hendrickson, 17.5. Myles Garrett, 14. Nick Bonito, 13.5. Kyle Van Noy, 12.5. Daniel Hunter, 12. Micah Parsons, 12. The defense rests, everybody. You mean to tell me I'm going to give someone that type of money, almost $200 million, and the thing that you guys suck him off about so fucking much, he's not even the best at it, not even top 3. Meanwhile,
not even top 5 by the sound of it.
Coach Slick showed you. Yes. Meanwhile, Coach Slick showed you that the great Mike Evans was always in the top 5, top 10 of something, and you don't give him that credit. The first thing people do, Slick,
well, I don't think he's ever been paid top 5 either. I don't think he's ever been paid top 5.
And again, though, Slick, when they try to do that, he got 52 his first 4 like Reggie White. I want to choke people and go, don't you dare disrespect Reggie White like that. You mean the guy who played in the era where they had to run the fucking ball 90% of the time? He did what Reggie did was far more impressive. If Reggie White played in this era of football, his first 4 weeks, he probably had 20 sacks each season. But again, Slick, do you understand? We're not everybody out there who's sucking off Mike Parsons. We just proved that. Yeah, him and Reggie White are the first. They're the only 2 people in their first 4 seasons with 52 sacks. Okay. I say again, first of all, they played in a different era, but again, everybody said that Micah is elite. I just gave you players, Slick, that says otherwise. Hey, Slick, how many times did Myles Garrett's name get caught up in there? Every single time he was up there.
Same with
Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa was in
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
Trey Hendrickson. And mind you, all those guys, Slick, they can stop the run.
Would you? Well, here's the thing. Would you? I would have traded a first and a second for Trey Hendrickson easily. A first and a second.
I would have traded.
I just don't want to lose players because then you have to find that spot, right? So a lot of fans were looking at us to say, well, the Buccaneers, they really could do with a pass rusher. And we're like, yeah, we really could do with like a super solid pass rusher. And we have taken a little bit of a gamble in going for a name that was good because you did put Hassan Reddick when you were reading out those names. Hassan Reddick was in one of those top 5s, if I remember correctly. So he's not too far away, and we am not paying any of that kind of money for him. Obviously, we will have to pay something if he does end up panning out and being that 12 sack plus guy or 10 sack plus guy, 100%. But when you look at it and for what it is, I don't know. Like, we'd have to give it Vita Vea and 2 first-round picks. I don't want to lose the heart and soul of my defensive line for a guy who can blitz, who comes off the who can come off the edge really hard.
And not even the master right now. Slick, I think the Packers run a 4-3. Are you going to play him at the 9, or are you going to play him at the Sam? At the Sam or the Will? That's the thing. That's the big question that nobody can answer. When I asked him,
here's a way better. We talk Michael Parsons here.
Yes. Is he going to play the 9?
I'm playing him as an edge defender. I'm not even looking at him as an off-the-ball linebacker. He's much worse as a player off the ball.
But against Slick,
he's even worse at stopping the run when he's playing linebacker.
Now, Slick, here's where people say stupid shit, and this is where I laugh because I go, man, Slick would have a field day with you. See, Slick is a nice guy, guys. He's a gentleman, so he's going to make you feel slow, but he's going to make you feel good about it. I'm going to fuck your feelings up. When they say stupid shit like this, well, what you don't bring, you don't put in a, you don't, make a edge rusher dropping coverage. I said, motherfucker, what are you going to do? Have they ever heard, Slick, that football is situational? What are you going to do if the game is on the line?
How do you discard?
Exactly. What if the team just switches to a spread offense? Now you have no timeouts, so you cannot recover. Are you going to, and mind you, they got a receiver wide the fuck open. Now, Slick, you got a few options. Are you going to bring your safety down? Meanwhile, you're putting,
what if they're empty?
What if they play empty? Slick, this is what people don't understand. That's what OCs love to do. Or, Slick, how about this? He's an undersized linebacker. What if they play power, counter? He's not beating up a guard if they pull. What if they run traps? He's too small. And again, you want to know what? Exhibit fucking A, everybody. Are you ready, Slick? You ready for the receipts? Here we go.
Micah Parsons had become a liability against the run. I still have nightmares of him just backpedaling. I don't want to. I don't want to do this. No, leave me out of this. I don't do runs. I don't do.
One freaking sack in 4 playoff games. 3 no-shows. 2 against San Francisco, 1 against Green Bay. He's a liability against the run.
Now we saw
Skip.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Skip. Come on, Skip. We just gave y'all the information. Now, Slick, people piss me off because when I show them the information, then they want to move the goalpost. I had one guy go, well, AJ, he can't do it by himself. You didn't say that about Trey Hendrickson. Who the fuck has Trey Hendrickson had on his roster in Cincinnati? We make a running joke that Cincinnati ain't got no defense. The Cowboys have a far better defense than Cincinnati. And one thing, I thought great elite players, Slick, I thought they set the tone. When Warren Sapp got drafted to the Bucs, he didn't have anybody on the defensive line with him. He set the tone. He created the atmosphere. He inspired. That's what leaders do. That's another thing, Slick. What does Micah do to show you that he's a leader? This is the same guy when Fournette put him on his ass. He went to Twitter and cried about it. So what are we doing here, y'all? And again, Green Bay. This is a boom or bust, Slick. If they don't get the shit right within 2 years, 2 to 3 years, they gotta blow the whole thing up. They gotta shut the Carter down because at that point they fuck themselves. Again,
2 first-round picks. That means you're going to pick a premium player for 2 years. 2 years, you're going to pick a premium player.
Yep, and again, Slick, that's what they don't understand. They're not looking at it from that perspective, and I'm trying to explain to them now, Slick, a perfect example of a team that did it the right way because they had their whole shit assembled was the Rams in 2021 when they acquired Von Miller. I told people that was a good example of we got to bring the house. We're going to bring someone like that here because we know we have a complete team. The Green Bay Packers do not have a complete team, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Here's another thing, Slick. Green Bay's their weakness on defense is still their secondary. Their corners aren't that good. So, again, I ask you, Slick, we just saw the film. If I'm in the playoffs, the first thing I'm doing is running the ball right to Micah Parsons' side. Did you see the laziness that was there, Slick? Did you see that laziness? I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind, Slick. I would have cussed him the fuck out. So again, Slick, if he didn't with these numbers that he has, Slick, if he played for, let's say, the Texans with these numbers, if he played for, I'm trying to think of another team. If he played for the Colts and he had these type of sack numbers, do you think we would even give a fuck about Micah Parsons the way that we do?
I think he would be considered exactly where he is, which is a top 10 pass rusher, and that's about it. And I think he would command about that money. like he would probably command top 5 money because obviously the money always goes up and it's whoever's upping at the time, right? But we also know that other guys who are better than him have just recently got paid, and they don't make as much as him, which is kind of surprising. Okay, the difference is age. That's probably the only difference between these two guys, but it's just
exactly. But the point is, though, like
the
he's
Von
supposed to
Miller
be the
trade
best
that
at
you were
what
going
you
on
do.
about. That was a smart deal because it was a 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick. That was the fuck them picks, kind of,
Exactly.
right? They didn't give
But
up.
they were all in.
They were all in, but they didn't, and that was just 1 year. For 1 year they went fuck those picks, and then they're back to it, right? You can get away with doing it for a year. You can't do it for 2 years where you go, okay, everyone's picking in the 1st round, but we're not. Oh, look at that player. And what if you stuck? Like, do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is?
Say it again, Slick. What if you what?
Sorry, what?
What if you what? What if you suck?
What? Yeah, because that draft pick becomes way more of a commodity.
Slick, it'd be different. Put it this way. If Michael went
like
to
the Raiders got fuck all out of the Gruden trade, right? Because they never drafted anything with it. So it's a trade that worked out for us because we ended up walking away with the Super Bowl. It did not work out for them because they ended up with a year's worth. Their first year was really bad draft picks. The second year was meh draft pick.
Yeah.
What do you get out of it? Almost the pressure's on Green Bay to do good, because if they don't, they almost gift Dallas good picks. So Dallas is sat there. Let's say I'm not going to say that this Green Bay team's going to come in dead last or anything. Let's say they just come in average. So they get a top 15 pick. You can even use that to mortgage into your 1st round pick with a 2nd round pick. Now you've got an even better 1st round pick. How you can fucking go, oh, Arch Manning's available. I'm going to take my 1st round pick, my 2nd round pick, and the one from the year before, and I'm going to mortgage them all if you want him. I'm not going saying Arch Manning's the savior, because after this weekend of football, I'm pretty sure this guy needs a few years before he's draft eligible. That's where I'm going. Well, he needs 1 more year. There's no way that this guy's going to be the 1st overall pick in the draft this year.
Slick, I'm glad you said this, because again, Dallas has so many advantages now with these first picks, these 2 rounds picks. They can, like you said before, Slick, people know how to negotiate shit. They don't have to get the biggest talent available. If anything, what if a team is desperate and say, hey, for that 1st round pick, guys, we'll give you a 2nd and a 3rd for this. Hell, some might be desperate to say, we'll give you our 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. Now the Cowboys are loaded where they can go, okay, we got 2 number 2 picks now. We got 2 number 3s, and now we got an extra 5th. Man, Slick, and again, you know what the biggest thing is? They ain't waiting.
So if we get that pass rusher, they can go do that now. Let's say they have an average year and they make the play, they scrape into the playoffs at the 7th seed. Let's give them that. In fact, let's say they don't make the playoffs and they get a top 10 pick. They could easily mortgage that for the best pass rusher in football. They could trade one of those firsts.
Thank you, Slick. They can do that. They can start that shit over again. And the most important thing, now they have an established guy who can help them stop the run. Put it this way, Slick. Dallas, I say this. When Dallas,
but you know they're going to spend it on another wide receiver.
Yeah.
They're going to fuck it up. Dallas, dude.
I just think if Green Bay's offense, their offense, Slick, cannot be average. They have to, unfortunately, they're at a point where they have to be above average consistently throughout these games. They can't.
Solid. The skill set that they got around him is solid. They're a solid team. I don't think they needed that. I don't think they needed to sacrifice their run defense, because now you're also making. Now you're okay. They might be a little bit better by the pass because you've got a premium pass rusher. So, he's buying time for the secondary, so to speak, or speeding up the quarterback to a degree. Mm-hmm. But now you just sacrifice your run defense, and now you're just gonna. If the rest of the team can't handle that run game, fuck. All of a sudden everyone's gonna run it down your fucking throat. And run it past. I even heard that I can't remember where I read this, but I'm sure I read that a coordinator said, if you want to beat Dallas, run the ball directly at his face.
Yes.
In Micah Parsons.
He's too small, and he's too small, not even just physically, mentally. He can't hang. When those guards, you've seen this, when them guards and linemen have their way with you and they're in your face and they're punching you in the mouth, Micah is a very egotistical guy. So it messes with him. He likes to look good and win. He doesn't like to be looking bad and win. That's the problem for him. He wants to be able to get on his podcast and talk shit. And I'm done with it. I think I honestly, Slick, I'm telling you right now, Green Bay will be 10-7. They're going to be 10-7, and they're going to be a first boot out of the playoff, and he's not going to do shit. And another thing, he's got to stay healthy, and he's been missing. He's had a little bit of injuries here and there. And again, if Matthew Golden doesn't end up being a fucking 1,300-yard, 10-touchdown receiver, Solid ain't gonna beat the Bucs, Slick. Solid ain't gonna beat the Eagles. Solid ain't gonna beat the Detroit Lions. Those three teams that I just mentioned, Slick, Green Bay can't fuck with them offensively. They can't go into the playoffs with that solid. They don't have the juice, but we do. And speaking of having the juice, y'all, fuck Micah Parsons anyway. Let's talk about this quick wrap up right here with the Bucs and Falcons matchup, because that's what I'm excited about. Slick, we're gonna go into Atlanta and just clap them cheeks. And here's why. There's so many things going our way. Slick, their right tackle is out. Their starting guy, and that's Michael Penix's blind side since he's a lefty. Now, Slick, I think also last time I checked, James Pierce, their edge is going to be out for some weeks. Now they got to rely on Jalen Walker. So I'm not really with this Atlanta game, Slick. This is going to determine whether Bowles has learned his lesson. Is he going to come out, Slick? Hopefully, throw them haymakers early. This is the type of team, Slick, we don't need to grind it out for a win. Score fast. Make Penix have to keep up. Put the pressure on him. That's it. You don't need teams like this, like to you just score fast. That's what we need to do. Rush this motherfucker. Switch him. Don't just have Hassan on the right on that side, Slick. Have Yaya there. Move your pass rushers around. I expect a big game from Jacob Parrish. I'm calling it now, Slick. I think Jacob Parrish is going to get us an interception because he's going to. I think early on, Penix is going to rely on Pitts in the short passes, and I think he's going to make Bowles is going to make him pay. So that's my defensive part. I think the Bucs defense needs to be aggressive, load the box, and make Bijan. We don't have a problem stopping Bijan Robinson. Make Penix beat you with his arm.
The offensive line.
I ask you, what do you say?
I'd say go after him on the fucking in the trenches, because I'm just looking a quick look at their injury report, and it's the injuries are mounting real bad, especially on the offensive line. Swing tackle Sam Norton is out. He's meant to miss 6 to 8 weeks. The person in front of him, who's the starter, is also out. So that you're now down to third string on your on one of your tackles. I'm bullying him. I am putting my best guy on him. I'm overloading. I'm occasionally overloading with the safety or the nickel or with the linebacker. I am making that guy's day fucking miserable. That guy is going to end up going, I don't know if I can play football anymore, coach. I don't think I can do it. I can't do this no more. I want him to be in such a world of hurt that he is in tears going, coach, I don't know if I can play football anymore. And it's not the fact that he can't, it's just the fact that I bullied him that much. He's going to be psychologically fucked. And I want whoever it is to be cocky enough to say, I'm going to have your fucking quarterback and it's going to be on you. When your quarterback is in the dirt,
Agreed.
I want you to look at him and remember it's your fault. And then every time I beat him, I walk past him and that was your fault. That was your fault.
I want Penix to fucking panic. I want, like when Vic did with the Bucs, I can't get a setup. I can't get no setup. That's what the Bucs need to do Now, let's get on the offensive side. Slick, bombs away. You can run the ball too, depending on what coverage they come out. Do you think, Slick, they're going to be the Falcons are going to be more dedicated to stopping our run first or the pass?
I mean, the best thing you can do is punch, counter punch, right? So I would say vary up what you're going to do in your passing attack and vary up what you're going to do in your running attack. So outside runs, inside runs, passing the ball, feed everybody. Don't just rely on one guy, feed everyone. So everyone's like, for fuck's sake, please pick a guy already. That's what you want. That's what made Brady so good, was because he was like, everyone's going to have it. And then this guy's going to have it. And some no-name receiver that no one's ever heard from the University of fucking nowhere comes and catches the ball. You know? And it's exactly. And it'd be like this person. And then running backs who'd never even fucking you've never heard of, carrying the ball. And people are like, what the fuck are they doing? And all they're doing is just spreading the wealth. No one, then you don't know who the go-to guy is. Right now, I would say that everyone's targeting Mike Evans. Don't target Mike Evans. Use him as that decoy guy and play someone near it and play someone that's going to pull guys away from him. So if you've got a double coverage, play someone in an intermediate outbreaking route over the top of his go route, underneath his go route. That someone's going to make a decision. Eventually, they're going to have to come down and go, we're wasting ourselves decoying on this motherfucker. And that's when you go hit.
Yep. This is the game, you're right.
That ball, look it up, and you go, okay, safety's coming down. I'll take the chance. Mike Evans is one-on-one man coverage. Let's go.
But this is the game right here, Slick, where Evans gets 60 yards but 2 touchdowns. Mecca could be your guy that we already said it. Let the young boys take the beatings.
I would not be surprised if Mecca gets about 100 yards but no touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be the guy. We're going to use you to march up the field. Oh, and I think K. Dotton is going to play. K. Dotton will be the
I reckon it's like a touchdown. I reckon it's like a touchdown.
Yeah, it's one of those. Oh, damn it! Like you said. Oh shit, we forgot him too. And they're gonna.
Do not be surprised if Rashad White pops in there somewhere as well, because he'll just creep out somewhere. Creep out.
And that's another thing. Like, they're not realizing, because I was talking to certain Atlanta fans, Jalen Walker can't be your only savior because it's gonna be different. The worst situation. Okay, even outside of worst, he's gonna have to try the run to stop the run attack. Again, Bucky, a lot of people, Slick, and I'm happy to hear this, but Slick, do you know how many people nationally is like, oh, we expect Bucky to have a 1,400 yard season because he's the full starter now. He's looking good. Yeah. So Slick, I look at it like this. It's a pick your poison. If you don't load the box, Bucky and, like you said, Rashad, Sean Tucker, they're just going to run the ball down your fucking throat. And it's not like this. Again, Slick, they were like, well, we got Lloyd from San Fran. Y'all don't have a defensive line like San Fran did. Like, everybody knows the biggest weapon on their defense in Atlanta, Slick, is Bates. So, okay, we just don't throw to his side. We move him. We make him move around.
We make him move around by making him make a decision.
Yep.
Make a decision.
Make your decision. Oh, yeah. What happens if we're running the ball and we're putting our foot up your ass that way? Now you have to bring Bates down in the box, possibly. Okay, Mike, do your thing. One-on-one. It's not like, and Mike Evans has a history of shitting on the Falcons. So it's different this year. I told Falcons fans this. Penix is not Kirk Cousins. He doesn't have that veteran mentality where he's going to know how to already dissect teams. When he gets pressure in his face, it's different. The Bucs, if Bowles comes out, Slick, and he does what I think he should do and be aggressive, the Bucs will get at least 30 plus points. Why? Because, like I said, I'm expecting Jacob Parrish to get us an INT, Slick, that will put us where we're at the 10-yard line. And this is what's going to determine a lot of things. Let's say, Slick, we get up 14-0 real quick in the first quarter, and we get a botch play in this 4th and 3, and we're at the 15. This right here will determine whether Bowles is learning to listen. Slick, I bet not see us kick no fucking field goal. I want 21-0, not 17, because you know why, Slick. 21-0 is Wrap this shit up, y'all. We're not coming back from this. 13 is we still got a chance. You don't want bad teams, you put them away early. We should have learned our lesson last year. Just like how many times you said when you give bad teams chances, like, oh, we're still in this. Put these teams away. The Bucs are clearly the better team.
Yep.
Put them to bed. Put them
essentially,
to bed.
that's what we're going to do. I like this. Need to take away the. Hang on,
Yep.
Need to take away the quick screens and slants. I think I'm not even worried about quick screens and slants. I'm more worried about us using that against them, because you want to evolve between your quick game, you want to your medium and your long game, and then you also want to be fucking trying to hit those home run running game. And the dump offs, I think this game could be a matchup nightmare, providing the tackle that goes up and plays and do the job. Then it should be fine. As for on the other side of things, on the defensive side, now we're going to see if how Bowles wants to play, because if we start seeing that cushion coverage and we start seeing I don't mind seeing cushion coverage, but when people are beating it, that's when it pisses me off. If cushion coverage is working, dude, I don't give a fuck. You can call it all you want. The problem is when you're being whooped doing it. I'm not saying we got whooped doing it, but when teams were constantly beating us on third down because of it or converting on it, I'm looking at Bowles going, well, what are you going to change up, dude? Because this ain't working. This ain't working. The whole world knows this ain't working. Why are you still trying this? Is it because you don't believe in the horses you got, or is it more of a case of you're a little scared, or is it both? He's got to come out full throttle. I know he got his coaching extension, but that can always fucking change. I don't want this guy to feel comfortable. I want him to feel uncomfortable, because I think an uncomfortable Bowles will coach better.
I agree. And again, Bowles, this is about your legacy. Are you going to be the coach that's taking that leap, or are you going to be the coach that should have stayed as a defensive coordinator? But as of right now, though, Slick, my prediction is I have the Bucs winning this by at least 2 touchdowns, because we're going to be fierce, because those injuries for the Atlanta Falcons offensive line is going to be overwhelming. They can't fix that. Also, they are dealing on defense. The Falcons have a lot of rookies that they're putting their faith in. It's not going to get a cut. Not going to get it done. Oh, yeah. And another big thing that's the most important, we know the first 4 weeks of the season, Bowles is fucking amazing. It's the middle of the season that we got to tell him to chill out. So ever since he's been our coach, he has been at least 1-0 or 2-0. So
if he can do the first quarter of the season and lose just one game, and then finish the last season and don't lose any, and then finish that middle of the season just break even, that's 5 losses. I mean, we're going to live with 5 losses, but
we can live with.
We expect more. We expect more. We expect you to win that quarter, and maybe you only win one loss per quarter, except for the final quarter. The final quarter, we don't expect you to lose at all. We can live with it, providing it's not the last 2 games. If it's the last 2 games, it's a problem, because you want that momentum going in. If it's the 3rd game before the end of the season, no one really cares, because you can get yourself back on track. But those last 2 games have got to be crucial. And I think the Buccaneers are in prime position to do that. And I did look at every Coach Bowles. Somewhere in the middle of the season, he drops at least 4 games. At least 4 games in that middle quarter of the season. He drops 4 plus. And you're like, dude, I need you to go. I need to cut that in half. I need you to give up maybe 2 games in that 8 games spread. Even 3 I could live with, but because it's better than the 4 plus that you've been given up in recent years since you got here. So we need to get that right, finish off the season strong, and boom, we're ready to fucking roll for the playoffs. That's all the Buccaneers need to do.
My man. So what's your prediction in your opinion?
I think the Buccaneers win by 13.
Okay.
I think the Buccaneers win by 13. I think it will be. I'm trying to put some scores together in my head. I think it will be a 27-17 Can't do the math, man.
27-14.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
20. Yeah, I'm going.
I'll give him
something
14 points. I'll give him two long range field goals and a touchdown. That's all they get.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm going 31-10. 31-10. 31-10. I think we'll put them away by the third quarter, and then we'll just run the ball down their throat. But I do think that the defense is going to get us a turnover to where it puts the Bucs offense in a position to where they don't have to march down the field. That's why. And I think, again, overall, that offensive line shit is going to come back to bite them in the ass. You're talking about a new quarterback, basically, with no true rhythm. And if he tries to force it to Drake London, I think I expect Zion this year to get 4 to 5 interceptions. And I think because Bowles is going to see that, I wouldn't be surprised if Zion gets an interception on Drake, because Penix is going to be looking for him and force it. And Zion's going to drop back into that cushion coverage that I fucking hate, but he's going to make him pay for it and jump the route. That's what I see.
I can believe it. But for the defense, I'd like to just see a consistent pass rush. It doesn't need to be bombs away fucking sets, like fucking 5 sacks in the game. I just want to see consistency. I want to see
I agree.
2 to 3 to 4 guys getting home. I don't care about anyone getting doubles or double 2 sacks or not. I want to see at least 4 guys get home. Maybe 1 guy with 2 sacks. I would rather share the wealth than just have one dude that is unblockable. I want it to come from everywhere, because that makes an offensive coordinator go, oh shit. You got one guy getting all of it, then you go, okay, we just shut this shit down. And yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But when you go, fuck it, Bonte's got one, Diaby's got one, Cansey's got one, Cansey's got one, Bayer's got one, and fucking this new guy, Reddick's got 2. Who the fuck am I supposed to double team? And you know what I mean? It becomes that match. And then the quarterback hits. Multiple guys with quarterback hits. Okay, even the guys who aren't even fucking getting home, I put my quarterback on the fucking dirt. Shit.
Yes, sir. I can't wait for that shit, y'all. And again, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out Bucs Report The Aftermath. Again, we're always on here. Check out Coach Slick. He's a champion. Put some respect on him. AJ, turn up here. TikTok. I piss people off all the time. It's about bucket time. That's my YouTube channel. But yes, football is back, y'all. We'll be on here to discuss shit and get ready for Thursday night's game. Again, it's football. We are fans of the game first, then our team. But Slick, I'm going to holler at you later, my man. Go Bucs, and take care, my brother. Be easy.
That's the scene.
Yes, sir. Peace. Catch it.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. I didn't realize it was a big screen. That's a real big screen. That's the end of the show. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We will try and get people on here as season goes. This one was just having to be a little bit quicker than normal, and go back to the original format of what we want to do is try and get guys to talk. So I know there was a gentleman that wanted to talk who's been on here before. We'll get you on the next time, I promise. Yeah, guys, it is all to play for. The season starts now, and if the Buccaneers start up strong, that is one division tombstone on the fucking fire ready to roll for our fucking season, and that's what you need, especially in Megatron's butt plug. We're going to Atlanta, we're going to Georgia, we're going to Megatron's butt plug, and we intend to come with the fucking win. Simple as that. Get the win, take it all, start strong, and just keep fucking at it. But on that note, guys, I'm going to go to bed. It is 1:30 in the morning over here in England. I will catch you all soon. Enjoy the game, and I'll see you at the post game. You'll see AJ at the pre-game. Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs!